Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good day, good night. Wherever you are, whenever you're seeing this, I hope you are doing good. So guys, this video is for my business owners that are thinking of throwing in the towel. I wanted to do this video to just talk about something that I feel a lot of business owners that are very successful do invest in. And just a way that you can kind of bridge the gap between yourself and an experienced business owner. This is something that you may want to do for yourself. This is something that you may want to invest in. But irregardless, this is why a lot of business owners are wanting to close their businesses down and wash their hands of their entrepreneurial journey and step into something different. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you are a business owner and you're having issues with consistency, you feel like you have issues with your products, like elevating, you have issues, with your content, issues scheduling, issues getting organized. If you feel like, you're only able to really do well once you're able to get on your feet with your social media, but then it always falls off. If you feel like for whatever reason, what you have to do to maintain your business is too much for you, and you don't want to close it down, then this could be something that you want to get into. So just keep on watching so we can get into the tea. So thankfully, I am someone that is creative, that is type A, that is very, very organized, that's very structured, that loves a deadline, that loves discipline. I've been an entrepreneur in so many different aspects. I've been successful in a lot of different types of entrepreneurship, and I know all that it takes to be an entrepreneur. It really, really, really does take a lot. It takes more than money. It takes more than creativity. It takes more than skill. It takes more than drive. It takes more than focus. It takes all of those things, but it also takes a lot of practical things that a lot of times we could be missing. And one of the practical things that takes up so much time is marketing, and specifically on social media, answering DMs, answering comments. There are so many influencers, business owners that miss out on partnerships and stuff because they aren't answering their DMs, or they have too many DMs, or they don't know how to use their DMs for their benefit, or even their comments for their benefit. Community engagement as a whole, they don't know how to use the engagement that they're getting from their audience for their benefit, whether it's no engagement, whether it's a lot of engagement, whether it's good comments or bad comments. A lot of people don't even want to start their business because they don't want to deal with the comments, and not in the sense of you don't want to get overwhelmed with how many comments you have to answer. You don't want to deal with the judgment. You don't want to deal with the ridicule, people not understanding you. A lot of people have, issues just facing the facts of the truth of wanting to be an entrepreneur. Wanting to be a business owner means that eventually you'll be putting yourself in a position where people can judge you. They might not know that it's your brand today. They might not know that you're behind everything today, but eventually you'll tell somebody you're a business owner. They'll try your product. Eventually someone's going to know that you're connected to this, no matter what. So we can't hide from judgment. We can't hide from people thinking that we're not good enough. We can't do those things. I understand why we feel that way, but there's also another reason why I think a lot of people struggle with this in their businesses. Marketing. People struggle really hard with marketing. People struggle to sell themselves or to sell anything. People struggle to feel like they're experts, or struggle to feel like they're worth somebody following and somebody taking advice from and somebody investing in them. There's so many hurdles that we have to cross over on our journey to being an entrepreneur, being a financial success. And this is one of the reasons I started doing business coaching, because I wanted to mentor people about how our spiritual mind can really block us from getting the bag. And a lot of people, these fears and insecurities that we have is bigger than the task in front of us. It's something else that makes the task in front of us, that's a difficult task already, even more difficult, because it's hard to run social media platforms. It's hard to keep up with your comments and with your DMs. It's hard to maintain good customer service. It's hard to think about new ways to launch and a content calendar every single month. It's hard to stay on top of things. It's hard to make sure you post when you need to post and make sure you interact when you need to interact. It can be difficult to do that and to stay on top of it. And that's why sometimes it can be good to hire and invest in outside work. And this is what people do not like. It takes money, a lot of money, to make money. It either takes money to make money, or it takes working like a slave to where you can't even really enjoy your money like that because you're working so hard around the clock to maintain what you're doing. And that was a situation that I was in that got me even into corporate America after being an entrepreneur for 6 years. So I understand both sides of the spectrum. I understand working as hard as you can to maintain your own business for yourself and literally burning out over and over and over and over again, but still putting the pedal to the metal because that's what you want to do. I've been there, I've done that, and I much rather prefer the space that I'm in now. I don't know if I needed corporate America to get me into this groove or into this discipline. I don't know what I needed. I don't know if it's an antidepressant or what, but for whatever reason, I feel like I'm in a good groove where I don't have too much on my plate. As a creative, it's so easy to just add more on your plate and more on your plate and more on your plate and pile it and pile it and pile it up. And now you have a bunch of pages that aren't being active, or you have one page that you're not active in, or whatever you've turned your back on, whatever you're, back and forth, like, maybe I don't need to be getting into this. It's so good to have somebody behind the scenes that can stand in the gap for you, because what everybody else is doing, they have someone that's a marketer, they have someone that's making their content, some people have editors, some people have somebody else to post it, some people have somebody else to answer the questions in the DMs. 9 times out of 10, you're doing all of these things by yourself. Most of the time you're doing all of these things by yourself. So, okay guys, another message from editing me. So the point here is just to find whatever works for you and whatever makes you a successful, well-oiled machine in your business. I definitely feel like I needed structure. I needed to scale things down a little bit and really, really find my true passion instead of stepping into everything that excited me. I had to really, really find what I wanted to dedicate my time and my energy to. And I was able to find that. I have people that I work with and clients that I'm connected with and companies that I'm connected with. And I much rather prefer this method than what I was doing beforehand. So the most important thing is to find what works for you. And for some of us, that is getting a social media manager, hiring someone to edit your content, hiring someone to post your content, hiring someone to handle customer service, whatever the case may be. The point is, find what you need to do to make your business journey a little bit more simple. Make it work for you before you completely give up and choose to shut everything down. And sometimes the best thing is for us to shut things down, but bear in mind that a lot of successful business owners, most of them have a team working around them. As a business owner, it's really important to make the right investments. And if you know you don't have time to post 3 to 4 times a week or 5 to 6 times a week, if you're really trying to step into it, if you don't have time to answer every question and respond to every DM, if you don't have time to study what's going on in your industry and figure out how you can apply it to what you have going on, if you don't have time to plan a month in advance, or what I recommend, 90 days in advance, if you don't have time to make sure that you're staying on trend with everything, if you feel like by the time you see a trend and you tell yourself you want to do it, it always has passed you by, there could be a chance that you not only need someone to run those things for you, but that you also might need someone to hold you accountable. Your team is more than, and if you're a business owner, you're a CEO. CEOs are not just CEOs and employees. CEOs are CEOs, COOs, VPs, CMOs, CFOs. You have a whole panel of executives. Then you have department heads, and then you have people under those department heads, and then you have general managers, and then you have the VPs, and then you have so many different pecking orders and so many different people that are doing the work of the CEO. Because the CEO can't be in 50 locations at once. The CEO really isn't going to be at any locations at once, honestly. And I've learned so much about this in corporate, because I work at a corporate office. So I see the CEO of my business, I see the CMO, I see the CFO, I see the COO, I see everybody that has anything to do with the business from the ground up all of the time. It's the corporate office, so everybody that's anybody in the business is there. And it just makes me think like, wow, when people realize they have a need in their business, they just make another job. They just add another job offer. They just bring in another employee. They bring in somebody else to do that. Whereas other business owners, most of the time when you're just getting in the beginning of your business, or maybe you haven't even realized this, other business owners just take everything on themselves. And because they can't maybe afford for an assistant or for this or for this, they don't have the investment, they don't know how they would get the investment, they put themselves in a position where they just have to table their ideas, or they have to turn away from their ideas. Now, I don't think that everybody necessarily needs a team. I don't think that everybody needs a team, but if you do need a team, then that's an investment that you need to make. Because if you have a great idea and if you have a great product and you can get someone to answer your DMs, curate a content calendar, create content, create templates, make sure you stay on brand, make sure you stay on top of everything, make sure your social media pages run, you can make so much more from your business. You'll make so much more from your brand. And this is why I say you have to spend money to make money. in every space, but specifically in this space, you have to invest in your business. And just like you want to invest in, the best products and the best packaging, and you don't want rinky-dink stuff. You don't want, stuff that looks cheap. You don't want stuff that looks like it's from every other vendor. You want to find quality. You want to invest in things that are really going to make a difference in your business. It's the same thing when you decide, okay, I need an accountant, I need a graphic designer, I need a business manager, I need a social media manager, I need a branding coach, I need a life coach, I need a business mentor. There's so many different things that you might need in terms of, people connecting with you. Even if you just need a content creator, there's some people that just get people to make their content for them. That's a service that I used to provide, just making content for people, and then I give it to them and they can post it when they want. The reason I used to do that, and I'm not doing that anymore, is because I've been fighting for my life to figure out how I can make business owners be successful. And I've done the business mentoring, which is really, really good because, like I mentioned, a lot of it is about the mindset. It is about the fear. It is about the insecurity and the doubt. So that is an important, part of it. But what also is equally as important is the practical work that goes behind being a business owner. A lot of people aren't comfortable in front of a camera. They're not comfortable selling themselves. They don't know how to sell themselves. They also might not know who they are as a CEO. Like who you are when you're with your friends or with your man or with your boys or with your family or whoever. That might not be who you are when you have to put it on and represent your company and represent your brand. You'll be more professional. You'll be more wise. I do not speak this eloquently when I'm talking to my homegirls. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how country I sound on here, but never as country as when I'm completely relaxed around, people that I know, around family, so everybody, especially entrepreneurs that haven't grown up in business or around business, you might not be able to distinguish the separation between who you are as a business owner and who you are as just who you are, because who you are, you might be somebody that's shy. You might be somebody that's not confident. You may be somebody that doesn't like to talk. You may be a procrastinator. You may be really messy, but you better get it together when that check is involved, because if you aren't, you'll never make the money that you want to make. You have to have some kind of order. And if you don't, then you have to know when you need to invest and outsource. So before you close your business, ask yourself, do I need a social media manager? Do I need someone running my platforms? Do I need somebody making my content? If you can't afford that, then figure out how you're going to do better, because you have to have a social media presence in order to do well. And it's not to say that if you don't have social media, you won't do good in business, because you can do great in business without social media. But if you are too scared to post, then I know you're too scared to put the pedal to the metal and hit the pavement, because you don't have to be on social media to succeed in business. There's a lot of places where you can go and be successful in many different industries without having any type of digital presence. But clearly you ain't focused about that because you're watching this on YouTube. So clearly you haven't completely, said goodbye to technology entirely, but I do think that making the right investments in your business will really make a really big change and a really big difference. And I, like I mentioned, have been fighting for my life to figure out how I can find ways to work with business owners and, really build something that's substantial and really see real growth. I did the business mentoring because, again, it's a lot of mental stuff. I think that's great to focus on. Also from there, I did the content packages. That was really great. I loved working with the content because content is easy for me to create. But even then, I would make content for people and sometimes they wouldn't even post it. Gag. And that's no shade, no tea, because it really doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't matter to me. But what does matter to me is that I'm able to do work that matters. And like all Leos, honey, or all women anywhere, if I don't do it myself, it's not going to get done right, honey. So I really feel like, for me and my best friend and everybody in my life has been, encouraging me to take on more of a just fully in control role with the content work that I've been doing. So I have my first ever client that I've been working with, running the entire platform, start to finish, content calendar, making the posts for every day, doing the content, doing the comments, doing the DMs. And I actually really, really like it. And I'm like, okay, this is how you actually elevate a brand from the inside out. You can do a lot from the inside, throwing over tips and throwing over, hey, do this, or make sure you check that email. I sent that content, but there's a lot more that you can do from a brand from the inside out. And that has always been what my focus is, making actual change that is prevalent. And I'm very, very good at what I do. So yes, in my business and in working with other business owners is offering marketing services and social media management services. So I'm going to be having 2 packages. The packages will be basically for a month. So I'll be contracted to work with you for a 4-week period where we will meet and discuss everything that you want. I'll come up with a content calendar for you. I'll make all the content. I'll run the DMs. I'll run the comments and keep you posted on everything. There's 2 packages. One, if you just want Instagram and Facebook, and another if you want Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and YouTube and video editing. So it really just depends on, what you want to get into and how much you need in terms of, taking over your business and getting into everything. This is not a cheap service, honey. And I am not telling you guys to, put yourself in a headlock to get it. I want this service to be and hopefully I've attracted people to this video who have the budget for this, but I want this service to be, of course, in the budget for those that, have seen some type of growth in their business and they want to make the investment, because it is an investment. And I fully believe that whatever you put into something, you're going to be getting out of it. And I'm going to be putting a lot of work into what I'm going to be doing as well for the business owners that I'm going to be working with. So I'm definitely going to be looking forward to working with business owners a lot more closely and running, social media platforms a lot more closely. And if this is something that you're interested in, you can check down below in the description box on my website. I'm going to have all of the info there, all of the pricing there, all of the breakdown there, so you can see very clearly what the tea is. So yeah, I think that as a business owner and as a CEO, I think it's important to get realistic about what that looks like. And it is important to scale your business or your brand. If it just means that you work with somebody for a month and you get a bunch of templates that you can use and you get a kickstart to your social media, sometimes that's all people need. Sometimes people just need somebody, running with the training wheels on them for, 90 days or for a month, and then they're going to be able to hit the ground running. That's, of course, what I would always, love. I would love to be a part of as many teams as I can and connect with you guys in as many ways as I can, elevate as many businesses as I can. Your social media presence is so important to just create an energy around your business and your brand that represents longevity, that represents something that is consistent, something that is cohesive, something that is warm, something that is valuable, something that is providing something that people want to be a part of. It's so important to have that in mind when you are creating for your business and your brand. And it's very difficult to do that when you have another full-time job or something else that you're working on, or other, brands, and you're juggling a bunch of brands. It can be really, really difficult to find that groove and find that, that sweet spot where you're able to put your intention on what you want it to be on, and get the time that you need to plan, to edit, to post, to brainstorm. One of the reasons I stepped back into corporate is because when you're working for yourself, there are no days off. There is no time off. And look at me, any time off that I have, I'm literally making videos and doing whatever I can. So child, I can't escape it. But you don't have any time off. So I think it's, important to really have conversations with yourself. Like, if I'm not going to invest in my business, and like I mentioned, everybody does a habit to invest in their business, and that's fine. But what can you do, and what are you willing to do? And if you're in a space that your timeline doesn't, permit you doing what you need to do for your business in the next 90 days, there's nothing wrong with revisiting in the next 90 days, but taking some time every month to do a little bit of journaling or a little bit of brainstorming. The best businesses were ideas for very, very long. Not to say that your business deserves just to be an idea and gag, but the best businesses take a lot of time to form. You decide on this, and then you decide on this, and then you change this, and then you bring this back in. It's a lot of up and down. So don't feel like you have to have it all figured out right now. Don't feel like you have to know exactly how you want to do it, exactly how you want to get into it right now. Just be excited about, what's to come, and know that you don't have to do it alone. Know that you don't have to do it alone. And also, investments that you make in your business, you can write those things off as well. So keep that in mind too. And that's something that a lot of people need too. A lot of people need to take classes on business finance and know what you can write off and how you can make your money make money for you. But that's another, topic for another day. And maybe I'll end up, I want to make more business, content, of course, because I'm stepping into more of a business space and I want more business clients. I want this to be really where I put a lot of my focus next year, because I know I can do a lot of good next year. And I am going to be giving, let's say the first seven clients that I get, I'm going to be giving them $500 off on the first month that they do with me. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, like I said, check down below in the description box to get on the website and get into the tea. But yeah, I think that this is something that I'm really passionate about, like I've mentioned, and I think this is something that a lot of business owners are missing. And I've realized that, a lot of business owners always tell me, oh my God, I need this. I needed these ideas. I needed this direction. I needed this help. I needed to know what I should do in this space. I needed to know what was going to be next. And I love being able to bring that little fairy dust of creativity and give you guys what you need to be on the right path. And I've been loving even more being able to have my hands really, really in something, and putting forth all of that effort to see something really, really beautiful come out of it. So yes, I'm looking forward to connecting with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions about social media management or marketing or branding or content creation or any of that, please let me know down below. I would love to answer some questions for you guys and get more into what you guys are working on and where you guys are going in the future. If you guys are interested in working with me, or if you seriously need someone to manage your social media accounts, seriously, you need somebody to have all of their fingers in everything and then some, let me know. Check down below in the description box to get into it. I would love to work with you. But yeah, guys, I am excited for this next chapter. I'm definitely going to be doing more content on here for you guys that like the business tea. Let me know what you need to see so I can get into it. But I love you guys. I thank you guys for being here, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys. Bless.